Look, I told you guys I had some correcting to do, and today is no different, alright? A few weeks ago, I think actually like 2 weeks ago, I made a video titled Fedmyster was canceled for no reason. And well, at the time, the information that I had at the time made this video accurate, at least in my opinion. My opinion being that Fedmyster was not a sexual harasser because these girls, well, the first situation with Yvonne or whatever, where he, you know, gets in her bed, he holds her hand, he touches the side of her body or whatever, he backs away when he realizes she's not down or whatever. That's the point. And then with the other situation with Lily Peach or whatever, he asks to give her a massage. She says yes, he gives her a massage, and a week later she feels uncomfortable. I just didn't feel like these situations made him a sexual harasser. Because had at any point these girls said no and he kept doing stuff, that would have been a problem. Alright, that would have been a pretty big problem. But factor in the context that these people were sleeping with each other all the time and, you know, that they were really close and stuff like that. I just did not see it as enough of a reason to cancel this guy. That being said, and it's not really new information, it's more just information that for some reason I was never made aware of. This allegation was presented way back in the summer when this guy was first getting canceled, but nobody, and I mean literally nobody, talked about this. When everybody was talking about how Fedmyster was getting canceled, they referenced Yvonne, they referenced Pokimane, Lily Peach or whatever. Nobody talked about this video right here that thankfully some people on Twitter pulled up for me, and Tipster was able to make a very good video clipping this. In fact, I'll be using basically his clip here. I have a couple timestamps that we'll be taking a look at, but thankfully, people are talking about this now. And based on this new information, I'll play both of her scenarios and we'll listen to it, but she said no, and he continued with shit, alright? Which in my opinion, sorry, but that's no good. And it's the reason why I'm going to be unlisting this video, because now that I know this story, sorry, it doesn't stand up anymore. Anyway, let's play her first timestamp.
One time, I slept over at Yvonne's house, and Fed squeezed himself on Yvonne's bed, so it was me, Yvonne, and Fed, and he fell asleep. So that was probably the only time we shared a bed, I think. So he was in I walked out of my bathroom and I see Fed, and I'm like, Fed, what are you doing? And he's like, come here, like, let's cuddle. And I looked at him and I'm like, what the fuck? No. And he was like, no, come on, let's cuddle. And he's like, it's not that big of a deal, let's just cuddle. And I clearly remember saying no. I clearly remember being uncomfortable with this.
Uh-oh.
I don't cuddle with my guy friends, and I never have in my life cuddled with a guy friend before. Ever. I barely even cuddled with the guys I dated at that point. I never had any serious relationships. I just never found anyone to date seriously. Anyway, that's a story for another time. So I remember being very uncomfortable and saying no, and he eventually was very insistent. And so we cuddled. I was little spoon, he was big spoon. It was extremely awkward. I hated it. We never did it again.
Okay, and that's really bad because she says no. She clearly remembers that, unless she's lying for some reason, which, you know, I guess could still be a possibility. But look, she said no, he continued, and that's bad, alright? That is bad, and that is, in my opinion at least, infinitely worse than the other stories that were more talked about. And look, here's the deal, alright? I want to make one thing clear. We never were shitting on, none of me and my friends on this channel, we never shat on Yvonne or Lily Peach or whatever. Ultimately, they're allowed to feel how they feel at the end of the day. The only thing we were saying is that this guy didn't deserve to be canceled based on those two stories because it wasn't sexual harassment. He stopped, alright? But here, he didn't, which makes it it makes it almost impossible to justify, in my opinion at least. Like, you gotta draw the line. That's pretty much where you draw the line. She says no, you keep doing stuff. Sorry, I'm out. I'm out, man. Here's the other story, and this is even worse.
Like vibing in Jamie's room. So Fed comes in the door, and I'm laying down. If I can, like, picture this for you guys, like, the bed is like this. The pillow's here. And then I think like one girl was like here, and I just remember laying down here at the bottom left corner with my knees up. Anyway, so then Fed comes in the room and he wants to lay down too. He sits on the bed, he wants to lay down. And then this is so strange for me to talk about on the internet. Oh my god. Anyway, this is so weird. He opened my legs and put his head on my crotch. I was wearing pants and everything, like, that just never happened to me before. And then I remember being so overwhelmed. I didn't know what to do. I was laying there and I was in a group of people, my friends, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't know what to do. And I was just laying there. And then he takes my ankle and puts it on his groin. I said that really casually because it was really hard to say. Anyway, that only lasted for like a split second because I immediately moved my foot off because I was not okay with that. And that moment was the moment that, like, that moment was the moment. That was the moment. That was the moment.
All right. I'm sorry, but that was just, I actually like cringed listening to that. Not because like, you know, I'm not laughing at that. That's not what I mean. I'm just saying, like, why would you do that? Like, that's just so suspicious. And, you know, again, there's no defense for this, all right? She very clearly, according to her, she said no, all right, in the first instance, and now he's just ramping up all the way past 11. Like, what the fuck, dude? So, look, here's the deal, all right? I never lied. I never, you know, it's not like I was aware of this story when I made this video. I was only aware of what literally everybody was talking about. Nobody who criticized me for this video mentioned this other story that completely devalidates my original opinion that, you know, Fedmyster was canceled for no reason. It sounds like based on this story and, you know, you factor in this story, then the numerous other stories or whatever. I'm not saying that this guy is like some serial, like, you know, creep or whatever. Maybe he is. I don't know. But at this point, now we're stepping into territory where it's indefensible. Sorry, but it is. Now, it doesn't make Pokimane any less of a psychopath or a liar herself. My whole stance is that I now hate them both, all right? And I was kind of leaning towards that stance anyway, but I hate Fedmyster, I hate Pokimane. They're both just equally terrible for different reasons. So, anyway, for this reason, I just want to make it clear that had I known about this initial story, I probably wouldn't have made this video, alright? But nobody was talking about this. Again, even the people who were criticizing me, they weren't mentioning this, alright? And I'm sorry, but my initial opinion still remains that, you know, based on the initial twitlonger on Fedmyster, this does not make him a sexual harasser. Now, this story over here, yeah, that probably does fit the definition of sexual harassment, and that's a very big problem. And I can kind of see why this guy left the internet now, if we're being honest here. So, yeah, this is a big problem, and because of this, I'm not going to private the video because I don't want to pretend like I didn't, you know, have this opinion. I'm only going to unlist this because it's not representative of my current opinion. So if you want to watch the video, the link is here on screen. You want to watch the video, see what I said. Again, based on what I knew at the time, this video still holds up. But now, based on this new information, and this isn't really new information, this is an old story that nobody was talking about for some reason. Everybody talked about, you know, the Yvonne and Lily and Pokimane stuff. Nobody talked about this, which is arguably, actually not even arguably, this is objectively the strongest point against him. So why were the people who even hated Fedmyster and hated us for our opinion that he wasn't, that initially we didn't think he was a sexual harasser, why weren't they bringing this up? Why didn't all the twitlongers talk about this story right here? It makes absolutely no sense to me. Why did we have to find this out because Rebzilla tweeted this out on Twitter? Why wasn't this more public knowledge in the first place? That's what I want to know. So listen up, alright? I have harsh opinions, I have strong opinions, but my opinions are based on what I know, and based on what is available in public information, and when I hear new information, I have absolutely no issue changing my mind, and I'm changing my mind today, alright? This guy, no, sorry, no. That was sexual harassment, because she said no, and he continued. And I mean, the actions were inherently sexual. So based on that, I just want to make that abundantly clear here. And it's why I'm unlisting this video. I think it's safe. Okay, yeah. All right, yeah, it's unlisted now. Okay, so that's just why I want to make a quick update video. Just kind of going over that. You can go check out Tipster's video. Go check out her original. This is coming from Angel's Kimi. You can check out her original video as well, just if you want to, you know, hear the whole thing from start to finish. But those are the two important clips, and this is my opinion now updated. So it's unfortunate, you know. It doesn't take away anything that Pokimane had done or whatever, but still, it's important to talk about, and I would be probably a massive asshole if I were to just ignore this in the first place. So, there you go. There's your update to the Fedmyster story. My name's AllYourFC. I'll catch y'all later, everyone. Peace out.